it's Don Skaggs again with Empowered Inventing, the one place where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing that with sound wisdom to turn them into real things like products and businesses. And those customers that you help, they say thank you. Please continue helping us by sending you certificates of appreciation called dollar bills. Now today, I want to talk to you about what successfully selling your product looks like. And I want to do a shout out here to Jim DeBetta. Jim actually spoke at, he's been a really great friend and ally. He recently came to our inventor group meeting recently, and he spoke. And he was talking about, actually at our online meeting and at our physical meeting in Kentucky. And he was talking to us about how to sell to major retailers. Now Jim's had a ton of experience in doing this. This was his wheelhouse of actually selling to these big box stores like, well, you know all the names. But anyway, one thing that really stood out, and there's a lot of really great things he had to say that evening, but one thing that really did stick out was the power of being politely persistent. I love how he worded this. Politely persistent when working with buyers. Now, there's an old proverb that tells us that by forbearance, a ruler may be persuaded and a soft tongue breaks a bone. Now you might say, Don, what does that mean and what in the world does that have to do with inventors and entrepreneurs? Well, actually a lot. Because this whole concept of being politely persistent can be a powerful tool for inventors and entrepreneurs. Now, the word forbearance here in this old proverb is defined as patient self-control. And this is what a lot of inventors and entrepreneurs need, is this patient self-control. Because sometimes you can get just all excited and you can kind of outrun your headlights and you can get just in a real hurry and end up getting frustrated and then relating that frustration to the people you're trying to sell to. And this will push people away faster than just about anything I've ever seen. So don't do that. Don't be pushy. Don't be like a stalker and you know, just keep calling these people every day or something, because that's going to turn them off. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. Now the other end of that is these people that will call them once and they won't make an immediate sale. And be on that first call, which is, by the way, absolutely not reality, and you don't make that sale on that first call and you give up, or maybe the third call, or maybe the fourth call, and you're just saying, just forget it. And you see, that is the other part of this. There's the ones that just call too much, and then there's ones that will call 3 times and then just get bored, walk away, quit, and not call that person anymore. And neither one of those scenarios really has a very good likelihood of being successful. It takes that being politely persistent. And again, thanks to Jim DeBetta where I get to lend this this great term from. So the forbearance means that patient self-control, that being politely persistent part that kind of dives into that. And you might say, well, Don, that old proverb is talking about a ruler. And, you know, we're not talking about rulers here, or kings or anything. No. Wait a minute. Think about this. If you think about it, the buyer is the ruler because he makes the rules, or he or she makes the rules of whether you're going to sell your product or not. That's the gatekeeper. He's actually ruling the gate of whether you're going to get in or not. So this really does kind of lend to this. So they can be persuaded by forbearance. Again, just that being politely persistent, that soft tongue. You know, and there's another really great saying out there. I love it. It says that a water will cut through a rock not by its power, but by its persistence. So what Jim tells us is that you politely check on these people once a week. He said that's usually a really good rule of thumb. Once a week, just check in, be polite, don't be pushy, don't be, well, I'm just checking on this. We're, wanted to see where we were at with it. To be very, very professional. You have to learn to be politely professional if you're going to get doors open for you, and that's what we want. So don't, and again, don't expect a sale on the first contact. That is just not reality. You've been watching too much of those Shark Tank-like shows where everything gets resolved in a half an hour. So that's not reality. They call it reality TV, but it's not. It's not real reality. So it's that focused, patient calls over time, and that's the other part of it. You have to be patient and say, okay, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. And by the way, that's true with all the steps. And if you've ever seen from our educational programs, we talk about the idea steps, and you take these one step at a time, and it's a marathon. It's not a race. Now, it's not a 10-year marathon, but it is a race. It's not a super fast race. You go through these as fast as you can, but you be politely persistent on the things that you can't control. You can go fast as you can on the things you can control. The things you can't, you be politely persistent, especially when it comes to the selling, especially when it comes to all that. So slow and steady wins the race. You've probably heard me say this 1,000 times if you've been watching a lot of these. So, stay focused. And by the way, keeping those focused, patient calls over time really help build relationships. This person will get to know, oh yeah, well that's Don, that's that guy over there. Well, he calls every week. He's not been rude. He's not been hateful. He's not tried to be too pushy. But he just checks in on me. Hey, how you doing? How's if you find out something personal about him, you say, well, hey, how's your dog doing? You get to talk. Well, this is what it comes down to. These are just people. People are, they have these lofty positions, you think, and you go through all this, but really they're just people. And if you can see them as a person and relate to them as a person, and they can see you as a person, it'll go a lot further. And the one thing, you've heard me say this before as well, but it bears repeating, be good to everybody, because everybody's having a tough time in one place or another. And, it's the golden rule. You just got to treat people like you want to be treated. So this and the other steps, again, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Be politely persistent. And by the way, you're letting these people know who you are, and you're truly getting their attention in the end, much, much more if you were to be, if you were to scream at them or something. So, and by the way, don't do that. That'll be the last call they'll ever take from you. So anyway, I hope this is helpful for you. If it is, be sure and share it with somebody else you think this might help. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're on YouTube. Check us out if you want to see some more good information and resources on our website, empoweredinventing.com. KYinventors.org is the organization for online meetings and meetings in Lexington, Kentucky. And I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.